Good evening, everybody. Hope you're having a wonderful night tonight. The Kings and the Spurs getting ready to tip off from Sacramento. The Kings' second night of a back-to-back. Great win for them last night against the Los Angeles Lakers. And how about all of you last night? Thank you, thank you, thank you. We had over 22,500 fans watching the post-game show on X live last night. You all are the best. It's been a while since we've had a pregame show, so we'll get you ready for the Kings and the Spurs. This is the pregame show on If You Don't Like That.
3, 2, 1, go.
Sacramento missed you. Carter, stolen by Williams. And look at this. Oh, you don't like that. You don't like NBA basketball. Fox, goodbye. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball. The exclamation point from De'Aaron Fox. Oh, if you don't like that, you don't like NBA basketball.
Boy, that's an ESPN highlight right there. Whoa. Carlson comes in. How about this? Holy moly, Jim Bob Foley. That is a major league smush.
Hey, welcome back into the pregame show. Ryan and Sacktown here. MC, appreciate the love, brother. You are the best. Thank you, thank you, thank you. We appreciate the thumbs up, and we appreciate all of you who tuned in last night to all of the Kings programming. If you did not get a chance, go back and check out Grant and Scott Pollard. I almost said Sean because we do Grant and Sean during the football season, but Grant and Scott Pollard, go check that out at your own time. But tonight we get ready for the Kings and the Spurs. But before we talk about the Spurs, let's take a moment because we are Kings fans. We acknowledge we don't like LA. We can't stand LA. Hey, don't look now. The Kings have won 7 of 8 against the Lakers. That's pretty damn good. You got to be happy about that. So come with us tonight here on the pregame show. We'll be taking your calls. You can use the link that is in the chat. Click that, and you can come up. Don't have to be on camera if you don't want to. We'll be taking your written comments. What is up, Ash? Happy to have you here. Things are good. Things are really good. I mean, we're looking to see what the Kings are going to do tonight. I podcast today, the Kings Court. If you guys haven't checked that out, please go search the Kings Court. All podcast platforms, you can find it. But I related the Kings to an episode of Seinfeld. I said, which episode of Seinfeld is closest to describing the Kings this year? And it's got to be The Light, right? Or Two-Faced, or whatever that episode's called, where she goes into the bad light and Jerry's like, ooh, and then he sees her. Yeah, you get my point. Kings have been good when they play good teams, and they have been bad when they play bad teams. The Spurs, worst in the NBA. That's what we know about them. Victor Wembanyama, the Spurs guy, rookie, do it all. He's had a little bit of a up and down season. He is a no-go tonight. So the Spurs are without him, but I'm not worried about him. Even if he was playing, my attention would be elsewhere. It would be on Devin Vassell. You remember the last 2 games against the Kings, 29 and 32 points he has scorched the Kings for. So this is a Spurs team that really, they're going to come out and probably give the Kings their decent shot, or a decent shot. They're looking to advance, if it's somebody that may be a G League guy or a two-way guy, trying to forward their careers, trying to get contracts for next year. That's what it comes down to this time of the year for teams that aren't in contention like San Antonio. So can the Kings, the biggest thing they have struggled with all season, the biggest thing across the board has been coming off of a big win and following it up with a mediocre win, a medium win, whatever you want to call it, just a win. One where it's not like, oh my gosh, what did I just watch? How did we escape? Or one where it's like, did we just miss 4 free throws down the stretch? What? So you get my drift. The Kings got to come in, handle their business tonight. We will see if they do that. The Kings going to have a full deck to play with for the most part. Don't worry about De'Aaron Fox. Don't worry about Domantas Sabonis and the minutes they played last night and the rest of the guys. I expect Mike Brown to get them a lot of rotations tonight. And then remember, Kevin Huerter he didn't play very much last night. Also, Harrison Barnes did not play much, 12 and 14 minutes. So they should have fresh legs. Maybe Mike Brown tries to go there. But like I said, I want to open up the show to you guys tonight. We have not done a pregame show in a while. So let's do it. Karf, what's up? Kings cannot lose this game. We've been saying it all year, expecting the starters to rest in the fourth quarter. I'm just expecting a Kings win. That's what I'm expecting. I get that if they lose, we won't be surprised, but my expectation tonight is they win this game. They have to win this game. And talk about a team that couldn't be any luckier. Look at how things have lined up, just like they did last year after the All-Star break. Look at the breaks they got right out of the gate this year. And now no Wemby tonight, okay? And I know it doesn't affect the Kings immediately, but Karl Anthony Towns, sources say he is out indefinitely with a knee issue, looks like maybe a meniscus. So stay tuned to that. I've been skeptical of Minnesota all year because they can't stay healthy. Show me one time they've stayed healthy in the last couple of years. And I get that that's kind of a lame take. It's kind of a lazy take, but I got to see it first. Nihai, what's up? Blessings. Yes. Yeah, it was a fun game to watch last night. It was a weird game because if I told you the Lakers outscored the Kings for 3 of the 4 quarters, would you believe that? Yeah, it didn't feel that way. Now, the free throws are what made up for that. But yeah, it was a good one. Big game tonight. Agree, Matthew. Indeed. Lance, what's up? Cheers, my friend. Yes, if you guys didn't catch it, please go back. Check out Grant and Jerry. That was a lot of fun earlier today. Jerry joined the show as he does once a week for his weekly segment. Let's see. Jerry, what he said earlier, the Kings aren't playing with a chip on their shoulder. They look like they expect to win rather than earning the win. And where's that coming from, Lance? I'm with you. And actually, I asked Jerry the question, Lance, because I wanted to kind of dig in a little bit deeper to that point. And I'm glad he expanded on it. But you're absolutely right. They've got to be able to bring some of those elements that have been successful for them as of late. Think about Domantas, the run he's on, but also think about the last 6 games De'Aaron Fox has played. He's been electric the last 6 games. I can't even deny that. And I know I am critical of him sometimes, but he's averaging 31.7 points over the last 6 games. More than that, assists up 7. They're at 7.1 over the last 6 games. So I think the thing for me that's confounding in Lance, and I think it goes directly to this, is you've got Sabonis getting a triple-double nearly every single night, Lance. And then you've got Fox that in the last 6 games, those are electric numbers. You've got your 2 stars playing the best basketball that you could probably ask of them at this time of the year right now. And it's still what we got by the Lakers. We've still had some bad losses, so is that reason to fret, or is that reason to say, hey, the Kings are turning a corner and it's going to get even better from here? So Lance, I think the little things, the fundamentals go big into that, because notice if you hear Mike Brown after the games, you will almost always hear at least one reference, at least it has been this way the last few weeks, one reference to 50-50 balls. Mike Brown and his staff are tracking the 50-50s because when we look at the plus minus, right, for a player, it's a broad judgment of their time on the court, their collective time on the court. When you look at the plus minus for them, it can be a little bit misleading. It really can. But when you look at the 50-50 balls, and I want to make sure I say this right, that's why I'm slowing down. I think that's where all those stats, those intangibles, like Scott Pollard used to do, he mentioned that yesterday. Even I think he X'd it out. It was in response to my podcast, but he sent a response out. He basically did the things other people didn't want to do. The 50-50 balls to me measure that, Lance. So I really hope the Kings can bring some energy tonight. They need it. What's up, John? Needs healing. Probably talking about De'Aaron. Who are you talking about there? Frog, what's up, man? Ryan, the Kings need to set the pace. I agree 100% about the pace, Frog. And here's why. The Kings, when they do that, inevitably they get kicked into a better gear. When they play at a higher pace, they play better. But also, when they're playing at a higher pace, that's usually when they're extending their defense. And when they extend their defense, that's when the deflections go up. And that's why you've seen De'Aaron Fox's assist numbers and his steal, well, not his assists, well, to a degree, his assists, 'cause he's been throwing it ahead, but his steal numbers also going up for him over this 6-game span. So I think that all plays into pace, but you're spot on, my friend. That has helped them out a lot. Mark, what's up, buddy? Whenever they should win, they lose. Yes, this is true. The Spurs by 15 points. I hope you're wrong. I do. I don't think we'd be surprised, as I said at the top, but I'm not sure. I just think that they'll win the game. It probably won't be what we want it to be if we're being realistic about the team. And just, we're not surprised anymore by anything. At least I'm not surprised anymore by anything. So if they lose, they lose. It is what it is. But I think it'll be a little bit more convincing. I really do. Haunted Horse. It is my pleasure. I am not following you. Am I following you? You must be talking about X. Following you. I'm not sure what you're talking about, but I don't follow horses. Ian, this feels like a trap game. Little bit. If I were Mike Brown, I would try to hypnotize the Kings. All right, we're going deep into our pocketbooks, huh? We're talking about hypnotizing people now. Are we going to get into some Aaron Rodgers holistic stuff? No, they just, how do you put this right? And tell me if I'm wrong. If you think I'm completely wrong, then call me out. Give it to me. But I feel like this team, they don't mind playing defense at times. I think they actually enjoy it at times. And like Frog said, pace. That's part of the pace that plays into it. But it's not like they come out and do it together from the start. It always takes one person, a big play, whether it's the Fox play on Vassell, whether it's the Keegan Murray play, ripping the ball away and getting the jump ball, those plays that churn the momentum, right? Like, it takes one player to get that going, and then the rest of the team will follow. So I feel like defensively, there's too many followers when it comes to pace and bringing the effort and setting the tone. They don't mind doing it, but there's not enough leaders saying, hey, do it, or getting a hard foul. You've got 6 of them. Use your fouls. That's what Mike Brown has to do tonight. And I think that's why last night against the Lakers, they were very successful because they rotated Keon, Davion. They played them at the same time. And what that does is that makes them somewhat interchangeable on the perimeter. And when they do that, it's easier to switch. And so they were able to just really pick up that pressure, and it helps. So for what it's worth, John chiming in on the show within the show, Matthew coming back in. I wouldn't bet higher or anything tonight in the Kings versus the Spurs. Save your bets. Well, thank you. There you go. Save your bets for the fight this weekend. I mean, I'm not a bet guy, but if you guys want to talk about getting some action, you guys can talk about it. It is all good with me. Let's see. The West is so close. Kings could be in the 5th seed in just a few wins, and they could easily also be in the 10 seed. Nah, that's the problem. And that's why the little games for them that they stumble on, the games like tonight against the Spurs, there can be no stumbling. when you have 22 games, I believe tonight, 22 or 21 games left, you can't move. You can't lose these games. You just cannot do it whatsoever. Hey, wanted to take a moment and let you guys know about Sunrise Landing. Yes, Sunrise Landing inclusive. They've got some beautiful track homes going right now. Go check out Sunrise Landing. Beautiful open floor plans. They've got a bunch of different models for you to check out. Sunrise Landing, Calusa. Check them out. And Bennett's West Side Grill, located in Rockland. You know that's the third location. We've talked about it since last year, located in the Blue Oaks Town Center. Hey, St. Patrick's Day is coming up. If you didn't know, Bennett's is offering some special St. Patrick's Day dining options. They're also accepting pre-orders. So go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com if you want to get some nice Irish St. Patrick's dinner, corned beef and cabbage. Go to Bennett'sRestaurants.com for more information. You guys know we love our Bennett's, absolutely, and just proud sponsors of the show. Love having them a part of If You Don't Like That. And by the way, if you would like to be a sponsor on If You Don't Like That, please send Grant, send myself. You can send us a message on X. You can email us. We'll put our emails up on the screen for you later tonight. But if you are interested in sponsoring the show, we would love to bring you on. And just last night, 22,000 live on X. So thank you guys very much for that. Let's get back to your comments. The other thing I was going to say about the West, by the way, I think the first 4 teams are locked into place. Do you guys disagree? I think that's as it is. It seems like this team swings too hard. Yeah, I agree. I don't know if it's panic, Ian. I think it's more attention to detail. I don't sense panic. I sense bad decisions. I mean, De'Aaron Fox the other night, a turnover that cannot happen, right? We could count down the different things that the Kings have done this season, whether it's bad shots down the stretch, whether it's giving up too many offensive rebounds. Those are all problems. So, Kings, they've got ways to go. Ryan, do you have a starting lineup for the Spurs tonight? Let me check, John. I will work on that for you. We could get that pulled up. This is obviously the pregame show here. If you don't like that, but I would imagine it will look pretty much the same. Let's go and check it out as I go to the latest standings right now for you guys. And again, tonight, a busy night also in the NBA, which we have not talked about. The Kings have to keep pace tonight. The Kings are scoreboard watching. You got Dallas right now up 2 in Miami, close game. 3 minutes, 8 seconds left, 103-101. You got Phoenix right now. Now, Phoenix, they're fighting back a little bit after the Booker injury. Phoenix 57-43 right now. Second quarter, 4:16 left. So you can go check out the scores. It's going to be a night where the Kings have to keep pace, especially the Kings think that 6 seed and a 7-game series is going to be in their future this year. Hey, don't forget to join us back at halftime. Jerry Reynolds will be right here with us on If You Like That. We are looking forward to it. Always a lot of fun. And then Grant and I will wrap up the night with the post-game show. So it's going to be a fun one. Again, we will do open phones later tonight. I can't wait for that. So, John, to answer your question, you're going to likely have Trey Jones, Devin Vassell, Julian Champagne, and Jeremy Shohan. And then Wembanyama, I'm guessing they'll probably slide Collins in for him. That's usually the person they'll put in. So that's probably going to be your starting 5. I have not seen the official starting 5 because it's not come across my screen yet. Once I have that, I can let you guys know. All right. Love the emojis. Let's go. Let's go. Ian, on the bright side, some of our key shooters barely played last night. Yeah, we touched on that at the beginning, but okay, that cuts both ways though, right, Ian? Because another thing this team's had an issue with is coming out and having a good start offensively. And I think part of the issue with that, Ian, is this team doesn't run nearly as many set plays as they ran last year. They don't. So tonight is the type of night where I'm looking to Mike Brown to get Keegan Murray involved early. He only got 8 shots last game. That is not enough for Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray needs more shots than that. Period. End of story. So you got to go to him. Harrison Barnes, do some high-low action. So yeah, get those guys involved that have the fresh legs, and you've got to keep them rotating all night tonight. Lance, jumping back in. Kings, although impressive, win against the Lakers. We're down 20. They were. Would like to hear your thoughts? Jekyll and Hyde team. It's exactly what it is, Lance. Really, to me, this team goes. What are the constants on this team? Let's list them together. They play 82 games a year. Constant, right? 48 minutes a game. Constant. Domantas Sabonis will show up. Constant, right? So I've got 3 there. I don't know what I would say for Mike Brown. Is Mike Brown a constant? Debatable. He's had some issues with challenges, but then again, he's the reigning coach of the year. First time unanimous coach of the year. So I think you got to throw Mike Brown as I've been critical. Okay. Mike Brown's on the fence. You get my point. So I've got 3 constants. Okay. We can name a bunch more that are facts about basketball, but the point I'm trying to get across is every game Sabonis, for the most part, has played this year, he has brought it. The same cannot be said for De'Aaron Fox. It can't. I'm talking about the 6-game stretch that he's on right now, 31.7 points per game. Massive. Big jump for him in the last 6 games. Also assists, 7.1 assists per game. That's up. Turnovers, though, that's a problem. But De'Aaron playing really good basketball. We covered it, Lance. But what about a 20-game stretch earlier in the season? De'Aaron Fox had a 20-game stretch, and credit to Frankie Cardicelli, who put this out. I believe the stretch was from January to around February 13th. And in that 20-game stretch, De'Aaron only averaged, 21.7 or 21.8 points a game, 3.1 assists a game, and 3.1 rebounds a game, 4.5 assists a game. So think about that drop off. That was a 20-game sample size. That was the sample size that was during the time where everybody's like, what's going on with the media? What's going on with De'Aaron? Right? So you got to point that out. And I'm not trying to be hard on the guy. I'm not. But that's a quarter of the season almost. So I can't put De'Aaron as a constant. So when I move on from there, and I'll wrap this up. When I move on from there, the next things I look at is play. And I look at ability. De'Aaron has the ability to do it inside, but he doesn't always do it. The Kings are 4th in the NBA in 2-point attempts. 4th in the NBA at 2-point percentage, but they are 25th in the NBA in 2-point attempts. De'Aaron Fox holds the key to that. De'Aaron Fox is the distributor. And I know Sabonis plays the distributor role, but that offense hums as De'Aaron Fox goes. So as De'Aaron Fox goes, in my opinion, Lance, the Kings go. Thus the inconsistency this year. And by the way, if you didn't listen to the Kings Court today, do me a favor, go check out my daily podcast. That is The King's Court. You can also find it on Spotify and all other podcast platforms. It is your daily Insider Kings podcast, but it's short form. We try to get you out of there in about 15 minutes tops, sometimes shorter. So go check that out. But the reason I bring that up is because I've got a bold take for tonight. I have a bold take. And if you remember last night, somehow I got lucky and I hit the final score on the head. So I'm feeling really lucky now. And by the way, I'm feeling really fired up right now. So I'm excited about this Kings team coming down the stretch. And I'm kind of pissed off at some Jim Rome people too, quite frankly. Can we keep that between us? Between us? Yeah, listen to the King's Court. That'll tell you more about that stuff. But here's my bold take for tonight. Here is what I'm predicting. Keegan Murray, career high tonight. Keegan Murray will have a career high, which means Keegan Murray will have a 50 burger. That's my hot take for the night. Kings win, 50 burger, Keegan. Sorry, Ether. Sorry, guys. I'm knocking on wood for you, but I'm feeling it. I'm feeling lucky. Ash, we just got a question about that, and there it is. It's right there. Yeah. So I can't wait to hear it. I can't wait. We talk so much about living and dying by the three. I don't think I talk about that a lot, Ian. I think I talk about the other side of the ball a little bit more. Don't you? I think I talk about defending the three a little bit more. It's so important to see Fox more active. Just talked about it. Besides him, Domas, who else can reliably create their own shot in the paint? Malik Monk. It's a great question, by the way, Ian. Malik Monk can create, you know that. Harrison Barnes can create his own shot. He can. And Keegan Murray, although you don't see it as much, he is slowly being able to create his own shot. And what's different about his is he can do it at all three levels. He's got more dunk. He blew away his dunk total from last year already this year. Okay. Think about what he's done at the mid-range. He's worked that floater pretty well. He's got that one leg step back that he's been working pretty well. And then he's got the three ball. I mean, he can do it all three levels. So yeah, Keegan showed a little bit more of an ability to do it for sure. Okay, it's fair criticism. You are very hard on Fox. You give a lot of props to Monk. He has averaged 1.5 more points, 1 more assist, and 9% less free throws. Fox increased points, 3-point percentage, top 3 in deflections, doubled his steals. Excellent point. I am not arguing about De'Aaron Fox's abilities when De'Aaron Fox is on. Now, I will argue some of the points that you're talking about, the rise in his statistics and me blowing up Monk. Well, here's the first difference. Malik Monk is not a max player. Malik Monk is not the face of a franchise. I mean, I'm not trying to be Mr. Negative. I am not saying there is anything wrong with De'Aaron Fox. What I'm saying is I just want to see him more consistent. Is there a problem with that? That's what I'm trying to say, because go back, listen to the King's Court, listen to postgame last night. When Fox deserves props, he gets his props. I love Foxy. I do. I just want, you can't tell me. So respond to me this way, and we'll get ready to wrap the show up, because the Kings and the Kings and their team that's giving them hell this year. Vassell is giving them hell. Wemby and the rest of the guys gave them hell in San Antonio earlier this season. The San Antonio Spurs get ready to kick off tonight. But no, I would like to hear your response on about just what's changed this year about De'Aaron, because nobody can answer this question, and I am searching for the answer to this question. What has changed up here between last year and this year? And when I say up here, I am not talking about his intellect. I am not talking about his basketball IQ. I am talking about his mannerisms, and I am talking about his approach and his demeanor on the court. It's changed. And so when I see that, and then you see some of the other things you worry about a guy, not just as a basketball player, but as a person. So I'm not trying to sound the alarm. Giving Fox all the credit in the world. He is the face of this franchise. This franchise is in this position right now, largely because of De'Aaron Fox. They put the trust, all the trust in the world in him to trade away Tyrese Halliburton. And I trust Monty McNair. I trust this process. So I apologize if you feel like I am hard on Fox. Not my intention. My intention really is to give you both sides because I don't want to give you too much sweet stuff without also giving you what you need. So that's my stance on it. But hey, it is the Kings. It is the Spurs getting ready to tip off in just a few minutes from the G1. I appreciate all of you joining me here tonight on the pregame show. Jerry Reynolds right here at halftime. We can't wait. Please subscribe if you haven't already. Give us a thumbs up. And we appreciate it, by the way. Grant just got to 7,000 subscribers on YouTube, and that is because of all you. So thank you so much. Go Kings, light the beam. We will see you at the start, or we'll see you